Hello. I think I'm live. All right, let's double check in, see how we're going. Make sure we've got our water. And get this adjusted slightly. Hello to the internet. Welcome to Moon Eagle Tai Chi. It's Tai Chi Tuesday, meaning it's the first Tuesday of the month. So I always do a live stream on the first Tuesday of the month. And today, because it is October the 4th, although you can practice this at any time, we're going to be focusing on the metal element because where I live, we're moving into, well, not moving, we're in autumn. We just had, the autumnal equinox not quite 2 weeks ago, but there was a definite change and shift from last day of summer to first day of autumn. And so when we transition from one season to another, we want to acknowledge that with our routines, our workouts, everything that we do, so that we are supporting the body as it adapts to the new season, and to reinforce some habits, emphasize others, and let others kind of fall away for the season. So today we're going to be working on a form tempering metal, which is out of my elemental form playlist. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out on the channel. That's a whole series going through the generative cycle of the Chinese elements, with a form for each of them. But today we're going to be focusing on metal. So metal is linked with autumn, it's linked with the lungs and the large intestines as well as the skin. So we want to have, a healthy relationship with the metal element in our bodies. That said, there's a couple things to keep in mind. Number one, if anything hurts, stop doing it, even if I tell you to. Number two, if you feel like you're about to lose your balance, stop what you're doing, grab a hold of something, preferably not another person. You may want to position yourself towards a sturdy piece of furniture if you know you're having challenges with your balance, so that you can maybe brace yourself. And number three, don't compare yourself to anybody else, especially me, with this. Your body is going to respond differently to movements than mine would, and to whoever you might be practicing with as well. Plus, we all have different body types, and even if we're all doing the same movement, it may look slightly different depending on your build. So looking at others is not necessarily the best way to determine whether or not you are doing a move correctly. It's more about how you feel in your body and your alignment. So that is going to be really important to keep in mind, not just today, but all the time. You may also want to have some water close by. And again, this is still my second time using my new sound system. So let me know in the comments how the sound is coming through. I've been satisfied with it so far. I may get like a little plug-in so that I can hook this down by my waist and have it something a little lighter on my collar. Just because this is kind of a precarious. So that said, take a deep breath in and slowly exhale, and we'll get started. Let me double check for comments, questions. All right, we're good to go. So, begin our standing practice. Maybe I've aligned this up just right. I have. Perfect. Okay. So you'll begin with your feet shoulder width apart. Have a slight bend in the knees. Gently align the pelvis, the sternum, and the forehead. As you breathe, you want to breathe in through the nose, down into the abdomen. Expand upwards through the chest, and then finally, out through the mouth. Again, inhaling. And exhaling. As we move into colder seasons, we want to try and slow down. And one of the easiest ways we can start that is with our breathing. So by consciously slowing down our breath, we're attenuating our energy. We're moving slower and therefore conserving energy. And now let's bring our hands to chest level. Relax your shoulders, open the chest, drop the elbows, tilt your pinkies in slightly towards the chest as you tilt the thumbs gently away, and then maybe tuck your tailbone just slightly. Don't really, ram it forward, but just slightly to point just between your legs. And sink your weight down through the feet, down into the ground, and then extend and lengthen the spine. Again, deep breaths in, down into the abdomen, expanding upwards. And then out. We breathe down into the abdomen because we want to fill up the bottom of the lungs first. And overall deepen our breath. Wonderful. So this is called Bear Embraces the Tree. And also practicing this stance is very good for the posture. It's also for keeping you nice and rooted. And it's also sometimes called the immovable stance. Because when you're truly rooted, you become one with the earth, and it becomes very difficult to move you unless you want to be moved. This is an invaluable pose if you walk a very large dog who sometimes gets excited. And now let's bring our hands up, palms face up, shoulders wide, chest open, keep the tailbone tucked in. As you look up in between the palms, this is holding up the sky. This is the first move actually out of a series called the Baduan Jin, which if you like you can look up on Google. It's a series of 8 movements a Shaolin practice, and I really like it. I actually practice it every day, or near enough. But this one really helps to open that chest up where we tend to tighten in. And now go ahead and relax the hands back down. Okay. So let's bring them an inch or two below the navel to Dantian, your center of gravity. We're going to practice some basic weight shifts. So on the exhalation, you're going to roll Dantian over to one side, making a shallow arc with the hips. Inhale, roll it back to the center, and now exhale, come to the other side. Inhale to the center, and now exhale, to one side. Inhaling, and then exhaling. So notice as you go from side to side that wherever Dantian goes, their weight tends to follow. So this leg gets heavier as Dantian comes over it. It equalizes as you come to the center. And then as you exhale and come to the other side, the weight transfers to this leg. So that shallow arc that we make with our hips is very important because it helps protect our knees. That nice rounding motion rather than a straight shift back and forth, which would put lateral stress on the knees, which we want to avoid if we can. And now we're going to add a twist to this. So now as you come to one side, you're going to turn from the waist, pivot on the heel, and turn and look towards the wall or to the other side. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, shift over, turn from the waist, pivot on the heel, and now turn and look the other direction. And one thing I notice is that my shoulders tend to want to point in. Try and keep them nice and back and stay aligned through that spine. We want the pelvis, sternum, and forehead to move as a unit. And by doing so, that improves our posture as we shift from one side to the other. Alignment is very important. Balance is a lot of alignment. And one more time for good measure. Wonderful. Okay, now let's come back to the center. Bring your hands in front. Curl your fingers over your thumbs. And as you inhale, we're going to open the chest, drive the shoulder blades back. As you exhale, we're going to make this hissing sound as we curl back in. Inhale and open. And exhale. Curl back in. Inhale and open. And exhale. Curl back in. Inhale and open. And exhale. Curl back in. Now let's come back to the center. Take some deep breaths in and out. And bring your arms out to your sides. Make an O with your fingers and your thumbs. Let your hands drop down. And just start to turn from the waist. Let the arms swing freely. Relax your shoulders and arms. Let the turning of the waist generate the movement for you. Now the hissing sound that we made as we do that spinal cord breathing, which is what we just did before this, that is the metal sound, the healing sound that is associated with the metal element and Qigong. So it works with the lungs, it works with the large intestines and the skin. And also, metal corresponds to particular emotions. So when it's out of balance, more, grief that just is stuck. And then when it's in balance, the feeling of sort of invigoration, integrity. And now let's go ahead and come across the rib cage. I wore a different color yesterday, but the color for metal often is white, but I'm wearing a light gray. So there's all sorts of correspondences. Just like every system, there's things that go together. Associations. And now let's go ahead and come across the chest. I have to be careful because of the microphone here. If you notice, I just coughed a little. We're hitting lung points here. And those tend to get tender, particularly during the seasonal transitions. And if you're noticing some tenderness there, you might want to later go back and massage into those points with some gentle, firm pressure. If this is your first time to the stream, welcome. If you're wondering, when does the Tai Chi start? We're just basically right now in our warm-up phase. And now give yourselves a pat on the back. And now come back across the chest. Come back across the rib cage. And come back down to the hips and the tailbone. And slowly come to a stop. All right. Now we're going to bend as we do. Slap the inside of the thighs as you come up. Tap the pelvis. So now we're waking up the legs, getting some of the points. And depending on when you're doing this, if you're doing this in the morning, if you're watching this as a recording, this could be the great way to wake up. This particular series of the warm-up that we're doing right now. One more time. All right, now let's lift one arm, take the other hand, gently tap down from the armpit to the waist. And switch sides. Now let's feel for the collarbones, come just below and gently tap. And come now to the center of the sternum. And now come just below the chest and then out to the sides. Let's bring your hands in front. Become aware of the tingling in the palms, up the arms, across the shoulders, down the spine, down through the legs. Bring your hands back to Dantian and breathe in. Okay, now for our balance movement today, we're going to practice kick like dog. Today, because we're going to be incorporating that into the form that we're practicing, so it's a good way to start. So we're going to shift your weight over to one side as you inhale, bring the hands in front, draw the other leg in, up the center, and then exhale, kick out to the side. Try and stay upright through the spine. And step down as you exhale, shift over. Inhale, come up now on the other side, and exhale. And you might find it's easier on one side than the other. Step down, shift over, inhale, and come up. Step down, shift over, inhale, and come up. I like this move a lot because it doubles kind of as a hip opener as well as a balance movement. Step down, shift over, inhale, and come up. So we do balance movements at the end of our warm-up, and they're meant to be challenging. So if you find yourself really challenged by them, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. One more time. And come back to center. Let's all take a sip maybe before we get started with our Qigong series for the day. And I'll check to see if we have any questions or comments. Not so far, we're doing all right. Okay. So that's the warm-up. Now, the nice thing about the warm-up is if all you got through was the warm-up, you've still done a lot of good for your body. And, eventually you may be able to do more. So today we're going to practice our Chi Raiser Sun Palm and Earth Palm. It's a wonderful, gentle stretch for the lower back. You're going to want to, as much as possible, keep your feet parallel for this in that shoulder width stance. There's a lot of people that tend to turn their legs as they go from one side to the other, but really the turn that we do in this is generated from the waist, and we stay pretty much on one or the other. The other thing to note is that when we press down to one side, we're not going to be pressing lower than about mid-thigh. Any more than that, and we can either hyperextend or we won't get a better stretch by pressing lower. So it's actually better to go, halfway down that thigh rather than to go to the full extent of your arms. So a sun palm is a palm face up, and an earth palm is a palm face down. So let's start with our right hand out as the sun palm, your left hand out as the earth palm, and as you inhale, shift your weight to your right, turn the waist to the left, bring the hands beside the head, and as you exhale, press down over the left leg, fingertips touching, going to about mid-thigh. So you still have a bend in your elbows. Now as you inhale, let the hands split. The left hand becomes the sun palm, the right hand becomes the earth palm. Shift to the left, turn the waist to the right. And exhale, press down now over the right leg. Inhale, coming up, right hand is now the sun palm. Left hand is the earth palm. Shift to the right, turn the waist to the left, and exhale, press down. Over the left leg. Inhale, up, left hand sun palm. Right hand earth palm, shift to the left, turn the waist to the right, and exhale. Press down over the right leg. Inhale, up, right hand sun palm. Left hand earth palm, shift to the right, turn the waist to the left, and exhale. Press down over the left leg. Inhale and come up. Left hand sun palm, right hand earth palm, shift to the left, turn to the right, and exhale. Press down now over the right leg. Inhale, up. Right hand sun palm, left hand earth palm, shift to the right, turn to the left, and exhale. Press down. Inhale, up. Left hand sun palm, right hand earth palm, shift to the left, turn to the right, and exhale. Press down. Inhale, up. Right hand sun palm. Left hand earth palm, shift to the right, turn to the left, and exhale. Press down. Inhale, up, left hand sun palm. Right hand earth palm, shift to the left, turn to the right, and exhale. Press down. Inhale, up. Right hand sun palm. Left hand earth palm, shift to the right, turn to the left, and exhale. Press down. Keep in mind, as you're coming up and you're beginning that shift, to really make that arc with the hips, just like we practice with our basic weight shift. Exhale, press down. And that really does help as far as the joints with this. Turn. Exhale, press down. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, let's come up and back to center. All right. So you want to move smoothly and slowly through that. And again, depending on the season you're in, you may move at a more moderate to slow pace, for the warmer months. But as you move into colder months, you want to move more slowly. It works better and it builds more heat for you. It feels more natural to slow down in those colder months. So now we're going to do our Qi balancer. So let's have our ball holding position here. We're going to practice tiger plays with ball. It's like my favorite. As you exhale, you're going to come down the center line of the body. When the top hand reaches dantian, it's going to turn face up. The other hand's going to come out to the side. As you inhale, bring the arms up, and then exhale. Down the center line. Inhale up. And exhale. Come down the center line. Inhale, come up. And exhale, come down. And now as you come down, add a look across the shoulder. Inhale up and exhale. Now look across the other shoulder as you come down. And now what we're going to add is we're going to add that twisted weight shift. So as we shift over, we're going to come, turn from the waist. So we've just added that turn from the waist that we practiced at the beginning of class. I apologize if the microphone is picking up my breath. I tend to breathe very audibly because when I'm teaching a room full of people, it gives them a cue about where they are or where we are in the movement. Helps them keep on, keep the communal rhythm, as it were. But I know the microphone can really pick that up and magnify it, so I do apologize. And there was a time years ago where I used to have music in my classes. But what I found was that people started following the rhythm of the music. And so then I had to switch to more ambient, sort of circular kind of sound. And unfortunately, a lot of that had entrainment on it so that people would just sort of zone out. And by people, I mean me. Exhale, come down, shift over. Which is not good if you're leading a class. Now this one can be very expansive or take you very into your body. And it can also make it difficult to speak because I find that this movement and a lot of the Qi balancer movements sort of take you out of the verbal part of your mind. And go ahead and come back to center. All right. Let's take another sip and I'll check for questions or comments. Let's see here. Okay. We seem to be good on that. So we will move into our form practice for today, tempering metal. What's interesting is I think the very first form that I kind of put together for an element was the wave washes the shore. I really wanted to get that feeling of water. And then the next one was actually my fire. Fire kisses the lotus. And then I started, wood and earth. I did metal. It's just how it came together. So I did water, fire, metal, which is not the order. As I came into the later ones, I was looking also into where the meridian systems were in the body. And so this one is heavily guided by the way the metal meridians, the lung and large intestine, come up the arms. So it's not important for you to know that. You just might like to know that. We'll start with our hands together at our chest and our feet together as well. And then we're going to step out. I'll do this. We'll step out to the side as we inhale, bring the hands up. Exhale, down. Then inhale. The hands just sort of drift, and you really want to be easy and gentle with this. They're cloud hands. Across. And then as we shift over, I'm shifting over to my right now. Draw as we inhale up that left leg up and cross the arms, and then exhale. Kick out with the left for kick like dog and step down. Inhale, we're going to roll forward and almost press the palms together. And then exhale. Spreading the arms out. Keep a slight bend in the elbows and look between the index and thumb on the left. And then inhale, we're going to shift back on the right. Turn that left leg in as we have the cloud hands coming across, shifting over to the left. Inhale and draw the right leg in, come up the center line, and exhale, kick out on the right for kick like dog. Step to the heel. Pressing the palms together, then exhale. Stretching out and looking between the finger and the thumb. Inhale. Cloudy hands across and back to the right. Inhale, draw the left leg in and raise up, cross those arms, and exhale, kick out for kick like dog. Step forward. Inhale as you press the metal together, and exhale. Stretch it out. Inhale, shift back and have the cloud hands come across to the right. Exhale, have them come across to the left. Inhale. And draw the right leg in, cross the arms. And exhale. Kick like dog. Step to the heel. Inhale, press the metal. And exhale. Stretch the metal out. Inhale, cloud hands across. Turn the leg in. Exhale, cloud hands back to the right. As you inhale, come into kick like dog. Exhale. Step to the heel. Inhale, compress the metal, and exhale. Stretch it out. Inhale, cloudy hands across as you turn in. Exhale, cloud hands to the right, to the left. Inhale, come into kick like dog, and exhale. Step to the right heel. Inhale. Compress the metal and exhale. Stretch it out. So with this, you want to, really open the chest up. Inhale. Cloudy hands to the left. Exhale. Cloud hands to the right. Inhale. And exhale. Kick like dog on the left. Inhale. Compress the metal and exhale. Stretch the metal out. Inhale. Cloud hands to the right. Exhale. Cloud hands to the left. Inhale. And exhale, kick like dog on the right. Step to the heel. As we inhale, we're going to compress the metal and then exhale. Stretch it out. Inhale, cloud hands to the left. Exhale, cloud hands to the right. Inhale, draw up. And exhale, kick like dog. Inhale, compress the metal. And exhale, stretch the metal out. Inhale, roll back and cloud hands to the right. Exhale, cloud hands to the left. Inhale, draw up. And then exhale, kick like dog. Inhale, compressing the metal, and exhale, stretching it out. Inhale, cloud hands to the right. And exhale, cloud hands back. And now we're going to close by inhale, scooping up and stepping in, and then exhale, hands back to the chest. So we'll take a sip. I'll check comments real quick. And we're going to probably go through that again. But this time we're going to use the metal breath. Sorry, I hate to be out of frame when I do that, but let's check comments really quick. Okay, we're good. We don't have any questions, which is awesome. And I just looked at my batteries on my microphones. Going to have to charge them after this class. Good to know. So now we're going to focus this metal form even more by using the metal sound. So that that hissing sort of or air escaping from a tire or balloon. So again, I'm going to do this so that I end up centered when I step out. Feet together, hands together at the chest. And as we step out, Inhale those hands up. Exhale down the center line. Inhale and exhale. Shift over to the right. Cross the arms in front. Exhale. Kick like dog on the left. Inhale, compress the middle. Exhale, stretch the middle out. Inhale, cloud hands to the right. Exhale, cloud hands to the left. Inhale, come into kick like dog. Inhale, compress the middle on the right. Exhale, stretch the middle out. Inhale, cloud hands to the left. Exhale, cloud hands to the right. Inhale and exhale. Kick like dog. Inhale, compress the middle on the left. And exhale, stretch the middle out. Inhale, cloud hands to the right. Exhale, cloud hands to the left. Inhale. And exhale. Kick like dog. Inhale, compress the middle. Exhale. Stretch the middle out. Inhale, cloud hands across. Exhale, cloud hands back. Inhale and exhale for kick like dog. Inhale, pressing the middle. And exhale, stretching it out. Inhale, cloud hands across. Exhale, cloud hands back. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Cloud hands. Exhale. Kick like dog. Inhale. Pressing the middle and exhale. Stretching it out. Inhale, cloud hands. And exhale. Inhale. Pressing the middle and exhale. Stretching it out. So just try and follow along now. And now we're going to go ahead and close. All right. So check in a moment, see how your breathing is doing after doing that metal breath with the form. For me, it always seems to deepen the breath after I've done that. So sometimes just adding something very simple to a form can really alter it and can really deepen the experience of it. All right, so we're going to start our cool down. And we're just going to do some leg raises to begin with. It's funny when I teach classes and people struggle with the balance movements, and then I have to do leg raises, and no one bats an eye. They just do it. And it has to do with the speed of which we do this. So if I were to ask you to slow this down, it suddenly becomes much more challenging. You have to recruit a lot more stabilizing muscles. But we're going to go back to we're going to lift and then step out to the side. So some hip opening. We've already been doing some hip opening with our form today in Kick Like Dog. It's nice to have good hip mobility. One more time. All right, now let's bring our hands to our lower back, and let's just rub there. Let's get those kidneys nice and warm. We want happy kidneys. And now we're going to circle the hips. And now we're going to reverse directions. All right. So now we're going to practice some teacup circling exercises. These are really good for the shoulder and the wrist and the elbow, getting everything, moving, circular motions in the joints. Now, if you have shoulder issues, you may want to, you should always check ahead of time if you can do these movements with whoever your healthcare provider is. But if you know you have particular issues, you might just want to watch this one first and see. But we're going to start with one palm face up in front, just below our chest. And we're going to imagine we have a cup filled with tea, and we're going to try to not spill our tea as we bring the hand back, rotate it out, take it around, and then back over the head and come back around to the front. All right? That's one. We'll take it back, wide, around the back of the head, and then back to the front. That's two. Take it back, turn it out, around, back over the head, and then come back to the front. That's three. Shake that one out. Now let's do the other hand. We always do both sides. And take it back, turn the wrist out, go wide over the head, and back to the chest. So take it, that's one, back, around, over the head, back to the chest. That's two. Take it back, out, around, back to the chest, that's 3. Shake that one out. Now the other hand, we're going to have it palm face up behind at our back. And we're going to present it forward. Take the arm wide. Now bring it forward over the head and then turn it back around to the back. That's 1. Present forward. Go wide. Turn the wrist in. The elbow goes out and back around to the back. That's 2. I heard a pop there in a good way. Bring it forward. Take it wide over the head and then back to the back. That's 3. And shake that one out. All right. Other hand, come to the back. Present forward, wide over the head and back to the back. That's 1. Forward, out, around over the head and back to the back. That's 2. Forward, out, around, back to the back. That's 3. And shake that one out. Now, I always notice that I'm tighter, or that's harder on my dominant side. And you may notice that as well. And if that's the case, if you find it easier or harder on one side, that's perfectly normal. So don't stress about that. So now we're going to take the chin and draw a circle. And then reverse direction, draw the circle going the other way. You'll hear a lot of snapping, crackling, almost like someone's opening up a package of something at the movie theater, and they're trying to be quiet about it. That's also very normal. So now let's circle the shoulders back. And circle them forwards. And lift them up and let them drop. And now shake the wrists forward. Turn them over. Come out to the side, bounce up and down a little bit. And let's just go ahead and lean forward. Let the arms hang, let the neck hang, let gravity pull on you. Now tilt the head to look at the ground in front of you. Place your hands on your shins. Walk your hands up your thighs to your hips. Keep looking at the ground as you bring the hips forward slightly. Look down between your feet as you roll up from the hips. And then slowly bring the head and torso back level. You always want to come up slowly and in stages from that. And if you're not sure about doing it, don't do it. All right. So we're going to finish the standing practice with silk sheets. So feet shoulder width apart, have a slight bend in the knees, gently align the pelvis, the sternum, and the forehead. As you inhale, let the arms rise on the breath. And exhale, let them sink back down. Inhale up. And exhale, down. Inhale up. And exhale, down. Inhale up. And exhale. Down. Maybe try the mental breath with this. All right, let's all grab a chair. We'll finish up with the seated Qigong. Da, da, da. And as you sit, try to keep your back from slumping back against the chair. I know we've been up and about for an hour and you really want to just relax, but just, again, try and get your feet flat on the floor, shoulder width apart. Align the pelvis, the sternum, and the forehead as you sit. And just sit for a moment. Breathe. See how what we have done has affected your posture, how you feel in your body. Maybe your mood has changed. So just take a moment to inventory. And today we're just going to do the simple golden breath. So as we inhale, we're going to fill up from the bottom of the abdomen, filling up with air up through all the lungs. And as we exhale, kind of let the air out of that balloon slowly. As we're doing that, as we inhale, we're going to concentrate this wonderful golden chi into Dantian. And as we exhale, we're going to allow it to slowly spread throughout the body, kind of like warm honey. All right? So go ahead and close your eyes. As you inhale, fill the abdomen with air, fill Dantian with golden light. And exhale. Allow that light to slowly spread throughout the body as you inhale. Golden light in, exhale. Allowing that light to spread. Inhaling golden chi in. And exhaling. Allowing it to spread. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly allow that image to fade, and when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Bring your left hand palm face up. Inhale, circle it in towards the chest. Down and around, exhale. Bring it in towards the heart. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this workout. If you'd like to support what I do, you can follow the links below. You can support me on Patreon, or you can send a one-time PayPal donation. Or for the very simple thing you can do is just like the video, comment on it, share it, subscribe to the channel. All of those things are helpful to me and help me to keep doing what I am doing. So until next month, peace and blessings.